Hello. 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 Oh wow. Oh wow. Oh wow. Oh, I've been home. Yeah, I've been home for like a week now. Hello. Live from LA. Oh. Oh yeah, it probably does, doesn't it? I need to change that from when I was cuz I was streaming from my phone, and so the Twitch notification I don't get that on multi-stream. Bummer. Okay. Whoa. Hello, my dog. Hello, lady. Dog. No. What? She got all worked up. I was throwing her stick at the park, and now she's being a little booger. What do you want? What? I love you. No, that's enough of that. That's enough of that little mess. Hey, hey. Okay, give me 1 second. 1 second. Okay. Chat, how are we doing? So yeah, I wanted to I've meant to stream. This is like the third night I've been like, yeah, I'll stream tonight, and then I actually get to the night and I am so fucking tired. I've been back from LA for about a week now. Actually a week today. And I've been working almost fucking nonstop on the documentary of my time at the protests. Firstly, because I had to write a whole script for it, which was about 10,000 words. Ended up being, well, after editing and adding some stuff, it ended up being about 11 and a half K. And then I also have a exclusive for those who haven't kept up with the Patreon or like social media. I've teased this a little. I was contacted by an active duty member of the National Guard who wanted to go on record anonymously as an anonymous source, and I have verified that this person is real, or that they are an active duty member. And they wanted to go just give insight into what the troops are feeling, what the like morale is behind the scenes, which I also saw as a good chance to get the lowdown on, like, you know, what are troop deployments, what are the backup plans, what like there's a lot of interesting stuff that will be coming out, so that is going to be all wrapped in together. Thank you very much, FaceSource, for 6 months. Zoan Binary, thank you for subbing with Prime. So yeah, that is a one part of it, and then I probably will have a second interview actually tomorrow in the middle of me fucking editing. So it hasn't quite ballooned, but it has expanded beyond the scope that I thought it would. Additionally, it has taken a lot of time to edit so far, because while I kind of cruised through today, so I have the introduction and the first day of protesting done. Days 2, 3, and 4 will go by much faster as far as editing. But then day 5, which is the No Kings protest, is going to be the biggest day of editing for me, because that's probably going to be at least a half-hour section, honestly. Sir, go away 1999. I'm just giving a really quick update because I haven't streamed since I've been back from LA. Yeah. So yeah, the Pedocon theory people are talking about in the chat, because I wanted to just do like a little AMA if anybody had any questions about my time in LA, my time at the protest. I don't know. But the Pedocon theory ties into a story that we will be talking about today. Let me actually see if I can get it. Did I not? Hang on. There we go. Okay, never mind. I found it, y'all. No need to worry. Did I witness any violence in LA? Yes. Yeah, Cassius 117. Pedocon theory is it's part meme, but it is the idea that conservatives are more likely to be pedophiles because they use their like advocacy against other causes, they're protecting the children shit, to cover for their crimes, which happens a lot. Sure does happen a lot. That's what pedocon, pedo-conservative is what that means. And we'll talk about that more because, hey, wouldn't you know it, there was a lawmaker who was just brought up on charges of disseminating abuse material. So yeah, did I witness any violence in LA? Yeah. If you haven't watched the, oh, thank you, Gay Ghost Prince. I love this shirt. Let me show it off a little bit. This is from one of my favorite local stores. And so another thing, because this week has been, as soon as I got back from LA, I didn't forget, but it just so overlapped that I had a friend visiting from Texas that I needed to, like, I had over at my house for a little bit and was showing around town. And so, like, that also ate into my time a little bit. But there was a, like, little bizarre street fair type thing that I got this at because I saw it and it fit me, and I really loved the way the sleeves fit. And it's a super cute, like, crop too. And so I was like, okay, well, I have to have that. Yeah, so Gay Ghost Prince, thank you very much. Yeah, so for the protest, any violence I witnessed, yeah. So going back through it, oh man, I need to find, because I was never able to follow up or find what happened to the guy who got shot above the guy. And yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to do that. I think I am going to black out parts of the guy's face. Because yeah, Hasan was actually right there when that guy got shot, and I was giving the medic supplies. And yeah, there was a lot of blood, and I caught it all on camera. It's on the stream, and so I'm trying to figure out how to tackle that in the video, because I can't, like, not show it, because it was some of the most violent shit I witnessed. But I might be on the Hasan stream. I don't remember where his cameraman was pointing, because I know where I was in relation to Hasan, but I don't know where his cameraman was pointing. No, so Hasan, I keep hearing from people that, oh my gosh, you were on Hasan's stream. It's like, yeah, I know, because Hasan and I were in the same park. We were in the park right across from City Hall for like over an hour. And like, we just kept circling each other. So Hasan would be in the background of, like, my stream. I would be in the background of Hasan's, because we were, you know, both focused on other shit. Yeah, I got patched up. I got yeah, I don't know what happened. So I did get hit by two things. One, I got hit with something from the air, but I don't know what it was. It fucking hurt. You can see that I seem really tired. I am really tired. I've been editing for the last 2 days. Yeah, so I got hit by something. What I think happened is, and it's hard to tell because I didn't like piece them together amid the chaos, but looking at the expended like canisters of tear gas, they had smoke grenades and they had flashbangs. When those things launch, it seemed like they all kind of just go and eject something. I think the smoke grenades like kind of, and it looks like somebody takes, like if you take a can and then you're like this and the edges all expand outwards. That's what a lot of the like used canisters and stuff looks like. So the thing that hit me in the head, and I was like, oh fuck, I'm hit. I got hit by something. There's going to be blood. It's going to be horrible. Hello, dog. Hello, Pooch. What? Lady, can you not wrestle with me? No. She is such a butthead. Thank you, mods. Do we not have a mod over on YouTube? Thank you, Brutus. Okay. And thank you, Gay Ghost Prince. I will definitely keep that in mind. What was I saying? Oh yeah, something ejected, hit me in the head. And I was like, oh fuck, that, like it whatever hit me, it really hurt, but not enough to break skin. So it was like, okay. And you can see in the stream, I think, like, because I like sit down for a second because I'm like, fucking, what the hell happened back there? But then yeah, I think the same kind of thing happened with my leg, where I didn't even realize I had been hit in the leg by something, but like somebody pointed it out to me and I saw it on stream and it's like really bloody. Not like really bloody, but like pretty bloody. Did I get checked for a concussion? Nah. I'm fine. It was just a head thing. Cops just shooting because they were bored. So yeah, this that somebody was saying that, you know, we were talking in 2020 about how cops are supposed to shoot rubber bullets at the ground so they bounce. That did not fucking happen. There you go, Silver Cell. 2020 mainstream media told us how rubber bullets are supposed to be shot at the ground and bounce. Now there's nowhere. Yeah. So you can go watch Hasan. I think it's probably easiest watch as a on Twitter. But the day, like the night after he was down there with me, Hasan had, thank God his like camera guy has like HD 60 frames a second, because there's this literally 1 or 2 frames of a guy with a baseball cap getting grazed, like it touches the baseball cap and it flies in between his head and Hasan's, like fucking crazy. And let me show you, I actually have one of the rubber bullets. Um, so this is the shit that they launch at protesters, and there's a whole other half of the thing that extends down to there. Um, yeah, this is. It looks like a foam, like it might be like a Nerf thing, but no, it's fucking like it's dense. And this one almost hit me. I have it on video where it pings. I was hiding behind a barrier with some other protesters, and it pings the front of the barrier, and like kind of rolls right by my feet because I just hear a ding, see it in front of me. Yeah, it's not great. It's not great seeing how many miles of it enough to kill. It can be. It's why they call it less than lethal, because it can kill people. Juliana, thank you for 22 months in a row. Yeah. So did I see violence? Yes. And as I was leaving, as we were getting kettled in the park, I saw a teenage girl who had gotten hit in the leg, and her fucking leg had just swollen up like a giant baseball. Had been hit by one of those, and like the welt it leaves is like that fucking big. And then yeah, the other guy, there were multiple people who were hit in the head, hit in the face, hit in the eyes. And yeah, I mean, like, hey, when fucking like the cops know that most people in a protest line, especially there, probably don't have the money to pursue illegal geoduck geoscience, because the cops say it is. Like one of the things I experienced in LA was a bunch of people. I had a really good conversation back from I was hanging out with my friend Mia Moore, famous trans filmmaker Mia Moore, and on my way back to Lana B's place, I had a Uber driver who was very one of the only talkative Uber drivers, very good Uber driver, but was talking to me just about like, how is any of this legal? How can Trump do this? Shouldn't this be illegal? Aren't there things? And it's like, yeah, I mean, like, you know, it's kind of, I didn't have a time to go into the whole like theory of things with him, but it's like, yeah, no, guess what? When they control everything and they know nobody is actually going to push back, people can kind of just do whatever the fuck they want. Yep, Lolis Rain, I'm talking about the girl who in the video, I've been sure to talk about her. That's been another thing why the video is taking so long, is that I have to do so much research on the other people who are hurt. Yeah, it's look, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, but I am kind of afraid of pissing people off with this video. At least pissing off like the more liberal minded people, the people who are in my audience, but who aren't like, you know, crazy leftists or whatever. Because, you know, there were tens of thousands of people down there. Tens of thousands. On Saturday, on No Kings, when we got tear gas flashbanged. I can still hear the flashbangs. There was a point that was, it's so fucking stupid, but where I got flashbanged, there are multiple points where I got flashbanged, like within, like literally, like as close to me as like maybe Ghidorah is in the background. There's one point I was flashbanged and it takes up center frame, and you can literally see me because it happens like 2 or 3 feet in front of me. And you can literally, I've been going back through the footage and cataloging all. You can see me like recoil and stumble back because it just takes up my full vision. And other times I got flashbang, like The thing about getting flashbang that's really weird is usually in a protest. I've never had a gas mask before. No, getting flashbang didn't hurt. It's startling. Like those things are fucking loud. But we were also outside, so it's like not. So was it as disorienting as in video games? Kinda. So okay. The one that went by, like, there was one the police fired above our heads, and it went off like a foot or two above my head. Like, it was fucking, I felt the heat coming off of it, and maybe that was where I got my head hurt. And it did leave me with that, like if you ever have a flashbang near you in like Call of Duty or something, and it goes, and then that kind of fades out after a couple seconds. It did leave me with a ringing, for sure. For a couple minutes, but it did go away. The other ones, no. Like once it's, the thing is that it was still daylight out. So it was still daylight, and we were in an open air environment. So like there wasn't when flashbangs are incredibly disorienting is when it's like you're in a small enclosed space, the sound echoes, it's dark or something like that, and yeah. Transitory earplugs. So I considered doing earplugs, but I already was unable to speak really through the mask. Like, people couldn't hear me. And so I didn't want to further deprive myself of any communication or senses, because it was very much a like. So the weird thing about protests with a gas mask, because I've never had one, but again, shout out to Lana B, who I cannot say enough good things about Lana and their fiance. I love those folks so much. Yeah, Lana B is just an incredible person. But what was I saying? Lana. Oh, got me a gas mask. And so which I accidentally kind of broke the strap on at one point the first time I wore it. And I managed to get it back together, but that led to me being very nervous when the tear gas actually got launched, because I've been in tear gas before without a mask. I remember what it's like. Don't like it. Not a fan. So it was very much a like, okay, is this thing actually sealed? Is this an actual mask? Like, is this gonna keep me safe? So it was very much a moment, but thankfully it did work. And so I just had to really worry about pepperball guns, because they have paintball guns with pepperball. I had to worry about rubber bullets and the flashbangs. The other parts were completely manageable. Well, I got some minor skin irritation. Like, I started, like, not breaking out, but I started getting like some white sweat and accumulation on my arms and stuff too. Yeah. Brody, thank you for $5. Don't forget, cops don't test rubber bullets on each other because they're too lethal. They test tasers, but not those. Yeah. Yeah, the idea that they're like, there was no restraint being shown at all. The idea that, so another thing, sorry, give me 1 second. I'll be right back. I forgot to take my like allergy meds. La Protesta. Yes, this is my faux fur jacket. I took it out because we've actually been having cold weather here, and I was taking a friend out to the friend who was here from Texas, and was taking her out to some bars, and that is the perfect light jacket. Oh, thank you, Glamour Claw. I appreciate it. It has taken a long time for me to develop my style. Hello. I got some. Oh my gosh. So I have not been. I go through really bad phases. So thankfully, I will be, hopefully, fingers crossed, getting a new computer soon. Sock Monkey Racer, where did I get my shirt? This is a custom shirt. This is a one of a kind made by a local boutique called Do It With Soul. They have really good stuff. It wasn't actually even that expensive too. I sound like so highfalutin. It's like, oh, it's a vintage. No, it was like $20. Yeah, no, I am hopefully going to have a new pewter relatively soon, because man, I'm stretching the limits of what this fucking laptop can do. And yeah, I have a part of this, I think, is just growing up poor, is I have a really bad habit of like using something till the wheels fall off and then some, where I do the same thing with like my shoes and my skating shoes, where I like just don't pay attention to how gross they get. Not in a like, you know, not holes in the shoes or anything, but in a way of like when I actually am putting together an outfit, I'm like, oh, this looks cute. And then I look at my shoes and I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm still wearing these. So I finally am replacing shoes, because I've needed to do a shoe refresh for a long time. And so I am getting rid of 3 pairs. So I bought 3 pairs. And one of the pairs was actually kind of spur of the moment because they were having such a deep sale at Nike on them. Let me see if I can find them real quick, because they're fucking sweet. These are the LeBron Next Gen Amped. I got these for like $60 at Nike, and they are so cool. Like I'm kind of in love with them. Like they're so fucking 90s. Yeah, they're awesome. And they were, because they were like, the ones I found were on clearance, and then they're having an additional 40% off or something. And so I was like, I gotta. Like, I actually legitimately needed them. And then my grossest skate shoes, I actually have them right because I took Lady out in them because they're my dog shoes now. So these are, I loved these shoes, but these are the ones that I wear when skating, and so they are like fucked up. And when you look at the, you can tell I brake with this foot because the heel is worn through. Like you could tell this is the foot I use to like slow down with on the actual heel. Never toss till there's a gaping hole. Well, oh nope, not a gaping hole yet. It still hasn't broken through the canvas, but it is in disrepair. Like no bueno. Yeah, these shoes are in rough shape. But there's like, that's the thing I love about Vans is that they fucking, I've had these for like maybe 2 years and they still don't have a hole in them. Like they're rough shape, but doing okay. Oh my gosh, Sophie Sophinar, thank you. 0747, thank you for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Tier 1 subbies, thank you so much. Barely broken. And yeah, no, because here's the thing. I've skating destroy shoes. Yeah. I mean, they're skate shoes though. And like I rarely ever use like shoes with laces because I never know when I want to go. Well, I know when, but like I always want to have a slip-on pair because I have a terrifying phobia of like laces getting caught up on my fucking board, which is right by the door too. I don't know. I think I've shown off my board on stream. But yeah, anyway, I finally also just kind of bit the bullet and got 2 pairs of Vans that will also last me. So those should be coming soon, and then I won't need new shoes for like another 2 years. Because I've gotten really good, and this is something I struggled with. Buying clothes was something I struggled with for a while in my transition. Because I would like get things, I'm like, oh, this is a cool piece, with no regard to like either how it fit or what I had to wear it with. And now I've gotten to a point where I am far more discerning over something, and I really only buy stuff that I love, which is a cool problem to have, because now I buy things like my Jennifer's Body shirt, and I fucking love this thing so much. Yeah. Can I do skateboard tricks? No. So I'll show my board real quick. I'll show my board. I'll be right back. And it'll make sense why I can't do board tricks. Because the wheels are too heavy. I have longboard wheels on it. And the longboard wheels... No, it's a regular board. It's not a long board. It's a regular board. But I have longboard wheels on it because I just use it for traveling. Like, I just roll around downtown on it. And this is some bullshit. So this chip, literally the first day I got this board, this happened to it. Other than that, like, the thing is, I mean, like, you know, it's dirty, but is pretty fucking pristine. I mean, it's, you know, sanded down on the edges a little bit, as is likely to happen. But yeah. Was just gonna ask if it's a longboard? No. No, it's just a regular, you could do tricks. I would just need to completely swap out the wheels and stuff. And I probably actually, no, the wheels are fine. Yeah, that's lady. Yeah, it's also pretty thick. It's not like I get that all the time from people. Like, I'll pass on the street, they'll be like, do a flip. I think they're just doing it to be funny, or they'll like, yo, Ollie, and it's like, I can't. Like, it's too heavy. It is a heavy fucking board, heavy fucking wheels. It is not crawled straight out of a 90s movie. Check this out. Check this shit out. Again, vintage. People ask me, hey, where do you get all your clothes? And I always tell people, thrifting, because that's where you find bangers like this. I love that. This is my fucking one of my favorite jackets. I need to fix the zipper on it though, because it currently doesn't zip up, but yeah. How's the last couple days of DTLA protests? I was out in real life, so I couldn't make the streams. Also, awesome jacket. You will be able to find, I'm already getting too hot. You'll be able to find out soon. I am making a whole documentary of my time in LA. Well, not all of my time in LA. I'm making a documentary on my time at the protests. Yeah. So, if you want to look at those, or if you want to see my time at the protests, check it out there. So the boring content of the trip? No. Be stitching VODs together due to constant cutting out? No. No, I'm doing the documentary as a like comprehensive, like a look at my time at the protest. That'll be, if somebody wants to go back through the VODs, like that's on them. I don't really care. It's too much work and memory, mostly memory right now. But yeah. Oh, thank you, Awesome Stella, for video explaining how less than lethals work. Pop that in real quick. And that might actually be, unless other people have questions about my time in LA, I think that might be the good cue to get it moving forward. Hello. Hello, dog. You are being a butt. She is so wild right now. I don't know what. Hey, no. What? 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 What do you want? What do you want? Okay, fine. All right, give me 1 second, y'all. Leave me alone. Okay. What that dog doing? Oh, went to LA for a conference in mid-March and you didn't have a good time? I love Los Angeles. I honestly might try to move down there if I can get a couple if I can finish paying off all of my debt. I really want to try and move down to LA because I need to be in that place. I just have so many like amazing people there, and being able to the other half of the other half of my trip, it was super cool being able to hang out with Jesse Gender. We went out streaming one day. It was super cool being able to hang out with Mia and Lana, of course. And as people have mentioned, it was cool being able to meet Hasan, even if it was very brief. Okay. Here's the thing. Yeah, stop posting Mia. Here's the thing about meeting with Hasan. I'm in Washington State. Is that when I met Hasan, it quickly occurred to me, because like obviously when we were under fire from flashbangs and rubber bullets, not the time to be like, hey, I'm Dead Domain, I also am a streamer, you've talked about me on your show. Like, obviously not the time. But then I kind of caught Hasan later. I tracked him down because I did want to say hi, just because like Vivid talked about me, and I think he had watched some of the Brianna Wu video. I just wanted to like just say hi, introduce myself, because I'm in LA. Why not? And it was very brief because it occurred to me like, oh, I have a really hard time being like a hanger on. Like I really am always cognizant of like, am I wanted in this situation? Do they want me here? Do they care if I'm here? Like, so not only did he very obviously have other priorities than like meeting me, which no shit, but it also occurred to me like, oh, I bet other like smaller streamers and shit do this to Hasan all the fucking time. And so that ran through my mind of like, I can't be like clout chasing out. Like, that's not why I came down to fucking LA. So I kind of just let him and his producer go. Oh, Hasan put your info up on the YouTube video. Oh, that's sweet. Awesome. I appreciate that. Yeah, that is super rad. And it was cool being able to meet him. For however brief a time. He does that when he meets other public figures. Yeah, like I kind of, well, as much of a public figure as I am, which I don't know about that, but yeah, I really don't want to be like, I don't like being a latcher, if that makes sense. But no, he was super nice. It wasn't like he was like telling me to fuck off or anything. I think somebody else came over and talked to him about something. And then he was very obviously busy, so I just kind of went about doing my own thing. And yeah, I had other shit to film and also a curfew / expanding police presence to get out of the way of. The worry that he's getting accosted with people trying to collab. Yeah, just remember that weird Sneeko fan that met Hasan and called him the F slur whenever I think of Cloud Chaser. That's a little funny. A lot of people in chat were mentioning and recognizing you as well. I noticed. It was so sweet. People let me know. People told me. Plenty of people told me, like, as it was happening, like, or in the middle of the park, like, before we had gotten kettled and run out of there with, like, tear gas and all that shit, I was getting texts from people who were watching Hasan stream, like, friends of mine who were watching Hasan, and people were being like, oh my god, you're on Hasan's stream, and I'd be like, not the time. Like, cool, I will look at that later. Show me the VOD. But I'm trying not to get shot right now. It's like, yeah, I love my friends. I didn't even have the cognizance to think at the time to be like, you call yourself my friend, yet you're watching Hasan's stream, even though we're both doing the same thing. Curious. Much to think about. Chaotic Kitten, I totally thought he snubbed you, but I missed all the violence that you both went through, so it totally makes sense that your interaction was brief. No, I don't think he snubbed me at all. Like, I don't think he was, like, big time. Well, maybe, like, okay, he was big timing me a little bit, but not in a way that I'm gonna take offense to, because, like I said, I am sure he gets people all the fucking time coming up to him, trying to just get on stream, trying to clout chase, and I didn't want to do that. I was hoping that, I didn't know he was still streaming. I was hoping that he kind of wasn't, even though I saw his camera person and stuff there. So I was like, I'm already here. I don't want to, like, follow him around all day, but I do want to say hi, so, you know. It was a little funny and concerning. People were trying to take selfies with Hasan in the middle of getting tear gassed. He was very magnanimous with the selfies. People were, I could tell he was very used to people being like, oh my gosh, can I take a picture with you? Like, yeah. James TL, I have live streamed from some nasty police responses in St. Louis. That was chaotic and I was barely talking. Couldn't even imagine like what you do. I appreciate it. Yeah, and I am glad I went down, because like the thing I'm doing, the video I'm kind of putting together is a much more comprehensive look at not just the protest, but like thank you, Sophia. Yeah. One of my co-organizers got the Mexican consulate at our event the other day. Hell yeah. I am also glad I got out of there without any without any serious injuries, because like I said, the rubber bullet that almost hit me, my sweet baby boy, I should draw a face on him. I think I should draw like a little smile, like a pet rock. This will be my pet rubber bullet. So stupid. No, I am also glad I got it. There was a time where I was trying not to freak out too much on the stream, but there was a point where we were getting kettled, and I thought for sure we are all getting beaten and arrested. Like I was dead ass 100% looking around. It was the point towards the very end where it was probably me and 200 other people were just north of the park, and yeah, I was like really reckoning with myself on like, ooh, this is gonna hurt. Like it was that moment of like, I don't know, acceptance, I guess. Being able to just like, yeah, this is gonna fucking hurt. And Silver Cell, was there a moment or moments where the solidarity and protest presence outshone the police presence? In terms of numbers, no. No. Of course not. Like that's the thing. When you look at all of the aspects of the protests and all of that stuff, the police so ridiculously, laughably, hilariously outgun anybody on the protester side. Like there's nothing you can do. And so, and I kind of talk about this in the video, where it becomes more of a manner of, it becomes less about like, when you're sitting 30 feet away from rows upon rows of heavily armored LAPD riot officers who have not only like lethal guns at their hip, but have tear gas, batons, riot gear, shields, and you are standing next to a bunch of scrappy Angelinos, who, some of whom don't even have their shirts on, some of whom took their shirts off to wrap around their faces like a makeshift mask. Yeah, no, Evercore. I was just showing off that bullet. Here's the less than lethal munition that I picked up on the live, on the stream. Like, you realize very quickly that there's no way. It's not about, like, it certainly wasn't about like, oh, fighting back against the police, because that's not, that wasn't happening at all. It's about holding out as long as you can. right? It's about making a stand. It's about being there for not just yourself and the things that you believe in, but more importantly, I think in that moment, everybody is thinking of each other. That's the hardest thing to do. Like in the midst of the protests, is that you are not thinking about yourself, even if like I was on the front line. I think I got a little bit closer than Hasan did. Well, only because I was behind that barrier. But it becomes more about like, hey, telling people you're exposed. Hey, like, okay, so the moment that the dude got shot in the head, I didn't see he had been shot in the head. I just knew he was wounded because people were trying to carry him away. So I followed behind them because there was one person. So two people were dragging him, and one person was trying to cover with their backpack. And so I saw that, and immediately, and I don't capture it very well on video, but you can see me like, I essentially, all right, so Gears of War, I was essentially doing a roadie run because they had just fired another volley of rubber bullets, and that one had hit the guy, but I could still hear the pop, 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 because all the guns and all the things make very different sound effects, and I know them now. And I was still hearing stuff like hit near me or people yelling out in pain, so I was just holding my backpack up to offer additional cover to the person who had already been hit, and then he got dragged away. Hasan was right there. That's where he kind of described the whole scene, I think. And in the video, I show him on screen for a couple seconds, and then a medic is saying that they need something, a disinfectant, because they were working on it right away. And I had brought some disinfectant because, like I say, you go with a med kit, you go with everything you need. So I basically just like threw the disinfectant. It's not funny, but I like kind of threw the disinfectant to the person who was assisting the medic, and then just fucked off because like they don't need anybody else there. Like it was real field medic shit because we were still like, we were only out of the line of fire because there were bodies in front of us, between us and the police line. But if the police line decided to advance, they would have been right there. Like there was no real air between them. And yeah, it's why did they open fire? Is there an update on the guy? No, not to my knowledge. I have continued to try and look into it. I haven't been able to find anything on that protester. There were a couple other people who got hit, but that, but they were journalists, or they were higher, and not priority, but higher profile. So they made headlines and he didn't, and I do really hope he's okay, because that injury, I've watched the footage back multiple times now because I need to get screen caps for it. I'm not going to show the footage. I am going to show screens with his face blurred out, because people need to see what the police are doing at these protests. And how bad it gets. It's like it's one of those things that you see, and it's I find, very quickly, if you're not in a headspace for it, but seeing real life gore, seeing real life violence, it sticks in my brain. I think it does in a lot of people. Like that's what shock does, is that like, oh, I didn't expect to see that. So your brain just memorizes every piece of the scene. And the thing that I keep replaying in my head is how he was obviously in shock and he didn't know where he was, or he didn't know what was happening, because when people pulled him back, he was just looking around in a daze, and people were trying to, administer help to him, and he kept putting his hands over, like a instinctual reaction, like somebody was jump scaring him or something. He was just going like this. And just seeing somebody in shock like that is like, I don't know. I actually had really, really fucked up dreams that night, if you can believe such a thing. Is Los Angeles still protesting? I've been able to find media live streams. I don't think so, unfortunately. So one of the things that I talk about in the video, and this is where I think a lot of people are going to be pissed at me, is I talk about the tens of thousands of people who showed up with their pithy protest signs, their jokes about Donald Trump being owned by Putin and Trump wears diapers, and, the SNL mom bumper sticker, Steve Colbert slogan-ass liberal signs. The signs everybody saw, like, if Kamala was elected, we'd be at brunch. And I think so many people manifested that protest, which, by the way, did nothing. Like, I am glad that people were out on the streets showing out for their community. I'm glad people are supporting local businesses and food trucks and vendors. But if you truly believe that you showing up for a protest and being just another body in the crowd, having a nice dinner and then going home, was an effective way to call attention to issues like ICE, the militarization of our cities, our police, Trump's overextensions of power. As in the protest did nothing, or those people in particular did nothing? Those people in particular. Because what Trump did in response to the No Kings protest was double down. He put out another order saying, like, yeah, we're just going to keep doing ICE shit. If your protest is not disruptive, if it is not going out of its way to call attention to issues, it's not a protest. It's a march. There's a difference. Like, the idea that, and there are significant differences between, like, the march and the protest. Because the people who were there facing down the police were not there to fight the cops. They were there to protect each other. They were there to show up for their community. Do you think a protest should be more like a general strike? Yeah. Yeah. And I think more people need to start understanding that, like, that's, like, disruption is what you need to be organizing and doing. Yeah, civil resistance is a good way to put it. Yeah, there you go. Jamie, that's perfectly put. A legend here in St. Louis activism like to say if you have a sanctioned protest with permits, police escort, etc., it's not a protest, it's a parade. Yeah, exactly. It's the same thing. You see a lot of people being like Matt Walsh and stuff. They have this bloodlust for protesters who, will block traffic or whatever. And those protests will then, they'll be like, oh yeah, you should be able to, run over and kill people if you're blocking cars. And it's like, that's okay. So if you don't think, like, those people just want to not be disrupted. They want to not be reminded that other people exist and are not having their needs met to the point where they need to protest. They want to say that, like, if you get out of line and you interrupt my workday to remind me of your, pathetic problems, I should be able to kill you. But if you kind of deconstruct that, think backwards for a second, it's like, okay, well, then they don't believe, like, if the only way you are sanctioned to protest is in a way that is acceptable to the powers that be, that way is always going to be something that does not inconvenience them at all, that causes no difference in the functionality of their day, right? Alrighty, I am going to get some water real quick, see what my cat wants, and then we will get started. Ah.
My name is Darren Lindsay. I'm a firearms instructor. I'm also the less lethal coordinator for the Denver Police Department.
How less lethal works is crazy.
Less lethal, pretty much the name just explains, it's some other form of way to gain compliance from subjects.
Yeah, awesome, Stella. We'll talk about Iran in a minute.
Lethal force. It's just one more tool in their toolbox to keep the public safe, themselves safe, even the subject.
Public safe. Oh man. So the other half of, again, this is just kind of part and parcel with the fact that I've been digging through a bunch of stuff and editing for the last 2 days. But the funniest part of editing so far has been going through all of the conservative commentators who have been talking about the Battle of LA and the LA protests, and the way that they are talking about how, just like Matt Walsh completely seriously talking about, like, this is a insurgent operation to an ethnic, like, establish the supremacy of one ethnicity over another is what I think he said. Like Benny Johnson talking about how, like, this is being taken over by Hamas-loving people. It's like, it's so fucking insane because those dipshits, like, there's no way they actually believe that shit. It's so far from reality. So far from reality. All right, yeah, sorry, let's get back.
That they're dealing with safe. One of the items in our toolbox is a personal defense spray. We just refer to it as our pepper spray. Benefit to this.
Hang on. Fight and Hobbit, thank you for 4 months. The anti-war protests are completely insane. It's like all America went into collective apoplexy at the thought of another doomed excursion to the grave of empires. Wait. Why are you surprised that there are anti-war protests? Literally nobody wants this war right now.
This is that everyone has it on their belt so they can get to it. It's convenient. We would use this when maybe you're met with someone who's aggressive, looking to assault you, but does not have a weapon, and you're not justified in moving to a stronger use of force from your toolbox. It's something that they can be decontaminated from and go on about their lives, and it doesn't have a permanent effect. What I would do when I go to deploy this, I would hold it out as arm's length. We don't want to be any closer than 3 feet. You can permanently damage their eyes, and that's what we instruct, is to spray across their eyes from ear to ear, just in little 1-second bursts. So you want to be 3 feet or further away, but you don't want to be so far back
man,
that it's ineffective.
It's this training shit is so fucking funny, because every time a hog is out on the front line and they're talking about how they're fearing for their life, like they're just so afraid for everything that's like, it has nothing to do with fucking, yeah, like they use it like somebody said, like sunscreen. It's like, are you and it all gets justified. Like in the courts, they're like, well, the cops, they were afraid for their life at the unarmed civilian. It's like, okay, well, the civilian's dead. Like, won't have, mag dump the pepper spray.
Then we've got the taser system, and that's an individual carry item as well. Each patrol officer in the city right now has one individually issued to them. An officer would deploy the taser when the subject rises to the level of active aggression. And active aggression is defined as the threat or perceived threat of an assault on the officer. The taser runs off of electricity. It can immobilize a person immediately, and it's really, really good for not giving long-lasting effects. The taser cartridge that we use has 25-foot wires connected to the probes. So from about 10 to 12 feet away, I've got my subject here. His threat level has reached the active aggression level. So I'm going to take out my taser, put the red dot right on him after I activate the safety switch, and I'm going to call out taser, taser, taser for any officers around so that they're aware that I'm about to deploy it. Taser, taser, taser. Taser, taser, taser. The way that we train is that you don't ever deploy less lethal unless you've got another officer there to cover you. When the taser was deployed and the person was incapacitated, they would come up.
Again, it's fucking adorable that they're like, yeah, no, this is what we trained for, and it's like, but then what is the point of the training when everybody gets a slap on the wrist when the training doesn't actually work and nobody sticks to it? It's like you can say, oh yeah, well we were training for them to do this, and it's like, all right, let me see the less lethal munitions. The
and actually take that
pepper
person
balls.
into custody.
Oh, fun.
Another tool in the toolbox that we use is the 40 millimeter. This is a multi-launcher. 40
Hey,
millimeter
that's this one, I'm
helps
pretty
us
sure.
with distance. It projects this foam baton.
Yeah,
It's
that
a
is
little
the
black
thing.
rubber baton. It goes out about as fast as a professional baseball pitcher, about 90 to 100 miles an hour. It will leave bruising, possibly some
Oh
weapons.
yeah, no, Galehound, the de-escalation is missing. Great call. I forgot to feed my cat, but we'll talk about the de-escalation in a minute. There was literally not a single time I saw the police, the military, anybody try to de-escalate any situation in downtown LA. Literally, not a single time. The protesters did. I saw a lot of protesters like policing others and being like, hey, don't do this, or hey, they'll shoot you if you do this. Hey, watch out over here. Like the protesters were taking care of our community. The cops, no, they were not. Not even a little bit.
Else, it should incapacitate a person or make them stop doing whatever they're doing, but it gives us the advantage of being further away versus the pepper spray and the taser. This can be used a lot of times for suicidal parties. I would deploy it in their extremities, their thighs, their arms, to either disarm them or incapacitate them so that we can come up and take them into custody and get them the help they need. This is a training round, and it just saves money because we can reuse these. So this is what I'll be using to show you how to deploy it downrange. I'd come up on target, take the safety off, and then shoot. We have a pepper ball system.
Okay, they missed the part where that just leaves, just fucking hole punches the target. Like they didn't. Okay, yeah. Hi, Lane. We're about to be done with this. It's a PvP raid. Yeah, it's a PvP raid where if one side uses violence, it's called crowd control. It's called riot suppression. It's called defending public property, and if other side uses it, it's called terrorism.
And that also creates distance for us. It's much like a paintball. What it has is a powdered pava, which is similar to the pepper spray effect. This can be used better than the 40 millimeter if you're searching for someone, or if someone has secreted themselves in a position of advantage. We can deploy the pepper balls into that area, and just the powder itself will activate and make them come out. We've had it where we've been searching for a suspect for whatever reason, say down an alley, and we believe that he might be in a dumpster. It's not safe for us to look into the dumpster or reach into the dumpster, but what we can do is deploy the pepper balls into the dumpster, creating that fog in there, and when it activates, it'll cause him to come out and surrender.
So yeah, just from the sound that makes, and it wasn't as, it sounds like that's multiple being fired at once. There were literally, so there's a point in the stream where I'm ducking behind cover, because I noticed that one of these side, like, groups of officers standing to the side that had pepper ball guns were literally just taking pot shots at whoever was passing by. Like, they were literally just pop, 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 pop. And it didn't matter if the people were running away. It didn't matter if they were already coughing, if they had been flashbanged or tear gassed. If you were within range, you were a free target. And so there was a point where I had to use, like, literally using smoke to try and run away. Yeah, that shit wasn't being fucking done with pepper balls. They were not spraying, shooting, like, none of that shit was at the ground. People were being pelted with it in LA. Love it. Rad. Super awesome. So, do we want to talk about, a couple days ago, a friend of mine... Yeah, this will be a good laugh for us.
We're following breaking news. President Trump says that Israel and Iran have agreed to a, quote, complete and total ceasefire. Alex Blitzes joins us now. He is a senior fellow with the Atlantic Council's Middle East Programs Scowcroft Middle East Security Initiative and leads the initiative's counterterrorism project. He is also a former Pentagon official and previously worked on the Iranian nuclear program during his time as a Department of...
Jesus Christ. Is it legit? No. Do I think there will be any attacks on mainland USA? No. Like, okay, maybe, but that's... Any attack against the United States pales in comparison to the shitstorm that is either about to befall Iran or would befall Iran. The idea that the idea that like it's been crazy, honestly, watching this and not having gone on stream and talked about it yet, because I've been having the craziest amount of deja vu over my childhood with this. Oh, they have WMDs. Oh, they have nuclear weapons. The media apparatus working overtime to create this manufactured consent, like to suddenly, it's the most clear I've ever seen, like, the United States media political establishment work in concentration so quickly, because it went from, like, in the span of a week, nobody giving a fuck about Iran, the mainstream media and voter, to suddenly you are hearing everywhere about how Iran is this massive threat to all of our existence, and there might be sleeper cells in America, and hey, did you know that they have a nuke? And of course they'll turn a nuke on every major city in America. And it's like dog, not my dog. Yeah, like, the idea that we still have politicians in America who will be like, what does Iran want a nuke for? Why do they need a nuclear warhead? During Trump's first presidency, he killed their major general, Qasem Soleimani. Trump assassinated. And Iran had to go like, fucking, I guess. Sure, what are we going to do? United States of America? Fuck you. And now Trump just like carries out extrajudicial, no approval from Congress, these what should be open declarations of war on sovereign nations. Iclonus, there's a compilation clip of Netanyahu claiming Iran is 6 months away from nukes. Yeah, Iran has always been 6 months away from nukes. Like it's so wild to see people acting so incredulous about, why would Iran want nukes? As we are just bombing the shit out of their military sites, killing, assassinating their generals, backing a major antagonistic force in the region with Israel, who keeps launching shit into Tehran, was doing it like an hour ago. And people are still like, well, yeah, why would they want nuclear deterrence? I fucking wonder. Like, I'm not going to argue that, the Iranian regime is so, like, it's terrible. But the idea that anybody can excuse this kind of action on the part of the U.S. Geoduck Geoscience, how are Congress supposed to respond to this madness? At all. I'll start with literally any response would be good at this point from Congress. It was funny. Funny is the only way I could describe it, because I was so fucking tired the other day when the Iran strikes news came down of Trump. He'd posted on Truth Social or some shit, and somebody actually messaged me on Twitter, or not Twitter, on Discord. A friend of mine messaged me, and we're like, hey, we're at war with Iran. And I was like, fucking cool. And of course, because it's Twitter, I was browsing through Twitter, just watching everybody have their takes, because everybody has a takes. I had takes. Everybody wants to get in a joke. Everybody wants to break the tension in between people being like, oh, we're so fucked, we're going to war for Israel and all this shit. And like, no, it's, no. But the thing I did find very funny was seeing like resist libs make a big comeback, where there were people suddenly being like, oh, we got Trump now. He declared war without Congress. Ooh, this is good. They're going to get him. It's like, fucking who? Like, what? What do you think? Like, who's going to stop him at this point? Like, Schumer and Jeffries aren't doing shit. Yeah, let's impeach him a third time. That'll really get through to him.
Defense civilian. So, Alex, what more can you tell us about this ceasefire?
Thanks so much for having me. So it reflects, I think, what we saw earlier in terms of the retaliation from the Iranians. They took 5 days to respond to the targeted killing of Qasem Soleimani during the first Trump administration, in which they launched ballistic missiles at our bases in Iraq. But there was a small number. No one was hurt or killed, and President Trump made the decision not to respond at that time. So I think they took that into account when they looked at what happened, and they wanted an off-ramp for the crisis here, but they needed to save face. So they launched a number of missiles earlier today that corresponded, according to them, to the number of bombs that were dropped on the Iranian nuclear sites. There was a heads up given to the Qataris ahead of time, which was then, communicated to the United States. And as a result of that, they were shot down. There were no injuries. So it was clear they wanted an off-ramp for the U.S. The Israeli Defense Forces had previously stated that they would be looking for an off-ramp if Iran was willing to do so. And it looks like now behind closed doors that they've agreed to that, and it should take place around midnight Eastern. So all in all, today's events point towards a de-escalation and off-ramp that the Iranians have agreed to.
Alex, looking back over the weekend, why was this Operation Midnight Hammer important for the U.S. and now with this potential ceasefire?
Hammer? Operation Midnight Hammer. That's got to be Hegseth, right? That's got to be Hegseth. Like the inverse of afternoon delight. That's so fucking dumb. Like, yeah, we cannot let Hegseth be in charge of this shit. We're going to have offensive called, like, Freedom Eagle.
Mission standpoint, was it a success?
So it's yet to be seen whether or not it's a success. There are some mixed reports as to whether or not the Fordo facility, the deep buried one, was completely
Threat
destroyed.
Level Midnight. It's exactly
that was built
like
specifically to withstand a conventional military strike on purpose because it was a clandestine program.
No.
So it was important to be done for a few reasons.
People saying
once the
this is
decision
like
was made to
Kojima
go ahead
writing.
and...
No, Kojima would do better than Midnight Hammer. Okay? Let's put some respect on Hideo Shoot Gunner Kojima's name. Watch what you say. Kojima, Sam Porter Bridges, Solidus Snake, Fat Man. Kojima would do better any day of the week than Midnight Hammer. Midnight Hammer. Hot Coldman. Die Hardman. Midnight Hammer.
And start conducting military operations, which the Israelis did and notified the U.S. They kind of got halfway through, and if you notice the nuclear targets, they left Fordo until the end for a reason. The only way to really penetrate and actually destroy the underground facilities in Fordo would be using what we call a massive ordnance penetrator, or an MOP, that would be dropped from a B-2 stealth bomber. And so the other options would have been conventional bombing from the Israelis and potentially a follow-on ground raid.
The lolly lule low. Operation Everlasting Awesome. Colonel, Operation Midnight Hammer. Of course, you're talking about Operation Midnight Hammer, Colonel. That's correct, Snake.
By commandos, which would have been extremely dangerous. You could have had folks that were either kidnapped or, death and injuries, and then perpetuate the conflict. And I think when the Iranians decided they weren't going to negotiate in good faith, the IAEA came out with reports suggesting that the Iranians were engaging in clandestine weapons activity. The president...
Oh, funny how that works. Funny how, the Iranians aren't chill with us when we're fucking backing Israel. And then we're suddenly like, well, it says on our report here that they have clandestine weapon activity. Guess we gotta go bomb them now. Fucking wild, bro. Wild. The one of the most interesting thing. Thank you, Swain402, for 20 months. I cannot fucking believe I've been doing this for 20 months.
I think decided he was not going to let this continue in perpetuity, and instead of risking it going on, he was going to finish it to the extent that was possible now, and so the decision was made to strike.
All right, well, as you mentioned, Alex, we don't clearly know the status of Iran's nuclear program right now, but what else can you tell us from your experience working on it?
Sure. The Iranians have been deceptive and duplicitous in this program since its beginning. I mean, the facilities themselves, as we saw with Fordo, were built under mountains with reinforced concrete specifically to avoid being hit with weapon systems. If you've got a peaceful energy program or one for research purposes, you don't do that. The tunnel entrances were 90 degrees because a cruise missile can't do a 90-degree turn at Mach 1.2. They knew what they were doing. The IAEA report found, material at undeclared sites, which the Iranians couldn't explain, and it's been this cat and mouse game. I think, the biggest problem was the JCPOA, the original Iran agreement that the Obama administration struck, afforded the Iranians the technology to be able to enrich uranium domestically. And they decided to exploit that generosity for weaponization purposes. And that's where it really became a problem. So for folks who are listening, if you're unsure of what everyone's talking about, were they close to a weapon or was it a breakout point? Here's really what it means. Uranium is found in the ground as a natural element, as a stone. And what you'll do is grind it up into a powder. It literally is yellow in color. It looks like yellow cake mix that you can buy at the grocery store. You then heat that into a gaseous state, and then you put it into a centrifuge. And if you've ever taken a bucket of water...
yellow cake now. Again, this is... Yellow cake. I cannot believe we're talking about yellow cake right now. Yeah, I love 2000s nostalgia. No, it's like, this is the shit. This is the kind of, again, I have a weird kind of nostalgia for this because, like, this is the ripped from the headlines type shit that the first couple Modern Warfare games were, like, built around. Like, straight up. Right now, that's how fucking stupid everything is. Right now, you can go play the original, the good ones, Modern Warfare and Modern Warfare 2. And if you played them now for the first time, you'll be like, damn, if you thought they were new games, you'd be like, shit, how aren't these more controversial? These are like ripped from the headlines. Like war in the Middle East, finding nukes, the Russians working with definitely not Iran. Oh, it's crazy. Man. Yeah, so much for the no war president. So that's been one of the funniest parts, is like the way people so quickly... Okay, please watch this, I beg. You are begging. Fine. Oh God, I hope somebody throws more than a shoe. More than a shoe. This better not be dumb. More women drone pilots. Oh, I mean, this is a classic. Okay. Nick DeGriff. Modern Warfare is so fucking... like, Modern Warfare 2 is untouchable to me. But, like, go back and play. Oh, man. Those two games. So fucking good. I kind of love, like, it's not. So the person singing doesn't have a bad voice, but the quality and the quality of the like audio itself, and they're singing in that voice where you can tell they are recording and there's like people home, where like they have to sing like this, where they can't like fully enunciate because there are also people, so you don't get their full voice range too. Like it's that kind of shit where like I can tell they have a pretty okay voice, and I would rather them just like sing. Yeah, it's kind of like talk singing a little bit. But that being said, the hashtag girl boss gay woman drone pilot, that would be very fun to like sample as part of a like a riff or a hook. Like if somebody can pull that and sample it for like a rap refrain, that shit could go hard. Yeah, dramatic sample this shit. More women drone pilots is a great. That's funny. That's fucking great. This machine increases shareholder. That's that's pretty good. That's pretty that okay. You know what, Stella? That was worth it. That was worth it. So Trump came out, said that, you know, as he is wont to do, he always wants to be the great bringer of peace through strength and all that dumbass fascist bullshit. After he instigates it, don't let it go. Don't let anybody fucking tell you that he's actually a president for peace. When he's doing extra, like as much of a more of a war criminal than most U.S. presidents are, is doing extrajudicial strikes, declaring war just unilaterally on whoever he fucking wants, making enemies along the way, and all the while knowing that, like, what is Iran gonna do? Honestly, because Iran is looking down the barrel of another war in Afghanistan. They are looking down the barrel of another war in Iraq. The impact of Bush's war is still felt in the region. That is what Trump probably doesn't even consider this shit, but that is what Iran's leaders are weighing right now. If they really want to go up against that, untold numbers of dead. So of course they have somehow managed to like it's crazy to me that by doing this shit, America is so easily making the Iranian regime, which should be one of the easiest regimes in the world to make look bad, and we are making them, by comparison, look sane. We are making them look like the peace hawks, because they're the ones who are not retaliating after we, unprompted, just bombed their shit. Crazy to me. Mirror Ashes, thank you for subscribing.
Trump just announced that the United States has attacked Iran, specifically saying that the U.S. bombed 3 of Iran's nuclear facilities, saying that the mission to destroy them was successful and that the B-2s and other bombers are now safely out of Iranian airspace. With then Trump saying that now is the time for peace. Though there, one has to imagine that Iran's pretty pissed, and you have experts saying that it's possible that they're going to attack the United States back. Right?
Puddock, thank you for $4.99. Never trust even the most meek. Settle down and have kids. More on family is a psyop created by the elites to keep us too tired and busy to rise up. Who says that? Oh, you said that? I don't know about that. Like, I say this as somebody with no real desire to go make a family or anything, but I don't know about that. That's not, that ain't me. That ain't me. I don't know. I would like to have a family someday. I don't really have a family right now because I went no contact with mine. Oh, thank you. Also glad I have an income again, at least for a little bit. Now, income, now you sold me. That way I can buy things like Final Fantasy collector packs where I can get cards worth several $100s like I done today. Okay, chat. Real talk for a minute. My poly counts or something? Yeah. I mean, like, I have... Oh, like, don't get me wrong. I have, like, people. Like, I have friends that I consider close to family. I have my animals who I love. I have my partners who I love. Like, I am not, like, lonely or yearning or anything like that. But, like, I just don't have a family right now. So hey, dog, can you not, please? Stop. There's somebody outside. She feels. Yeah. So the Final Fantasy collector booster situation. For those who aren't aware, Final Fantasy, the collector packs are insanely expensive right now. So they have an MSRP of around $50. Because nobody can find them, because demand has just skyrocketed on them, they are currently going for over $100 for individual packs, and a box is now going for over $1,000. Break down the math for you. That is 12 packs of 15 cards a pack. Insane. Ridiculous. Stupid. Do not do that. However, the last couple days I have rolled the dice, as it were, because I'm me and I know I have good luck. And a local store has a stock of the Japanese collector boosters, which are priced the same, but they're all in Japanese. Like, no real difference other than that. Galehound. Gratia is a great card, too. I love Gratia. It's fucking terrible right now, Hoovy Bear. It's rough on these streets. Now, I can't shit on anyone for cards. I sold 41K in TF2 cosmetics. Fuck. I just got like a shiver at that. Ugh. So, the thing is, I opened up a pack yesterday. I'm gonna go to TCG Player real quick. I opened up a Japanese pack yesterday. Just on a whim. Just being like, you know what? I wanna see if I can get anything. At the very least, it'll be cool to bling out some of my decks with Japanese cards. I opened the Borderless Cloud Midgar Mercenary. So market price $47.70. And a foil VV, not pre-release VV, just foil, so let's say 58, right? From one $50 pack. One $50 pack. I opened about $100 that I am going to be selling. So today I got paid. Yo, my wife pulled our gold chocobo. You're getting that shit graded, right? Yo, those chocobos are no fucking joke. Those chocobos, if you get one of the traveling chocobo, like, look, here's a borderless one going for 47, but if you get one of the colored ones, like the gold one doesn't even have a market price. But look at like the second one, the runner-up, the black ones, which are the Japanese exclusive, are $3,800. That's what one sold for. Ooh, lightning. That's a good surge foil to have. So what I got today, I will go get it for the edification of the chat really quick, so y'all can take part in my victory. I got in one Japanese pack. I got a Dion surge foil, which is like neat, but I'll sell that for like $40. In the same pack, I got, and I immediately texted Bugs, my friend Bugs Matrix, who I do a Magic the Gathering podcast with. And here's the Japanese VV. Is that? No, that's not surge. In the same pack, I got Summon Bahamut in the nice extended art with, so let's go in Japanese. So that is a $60 card, market price $60. And one of the, if not next to the Chocobo, maybe the most, mind you, this is from 2 boosters. I got a Surge Foil Sephiroth Fabled Soldier. This is the regular borderless. I pulled this card in Japanese today. So yeah, here's the thing. I want to be so clear to y'all. And here's I have an ancient copper dragon I also got from a regular just play booster. I want to be so clear to y'all. I cannot stress this enough. I cannot stress what I'm about to say enough. Do not take my show. I'm just sharing this with you because this was like kind of the highlight of my day. I spent all day fucking working and editing and going through awful footage. And that was a really nice thing that happened to me today. Do not take my luck as an example to follow of, do not think tomorrow like, you know what, hey, maybe I'll try one of these Final Fantasy collector boosters. Maybe I'll try my hand at it. Vesper got really lucky. Maybe I could try it. No. No. I am a trained professional. By that I mean I have no training at all. I just know I'm naturally lucky. They let me pick the packs I get out of a box of 12. The people are always like, "Hey, do you want to pick the pack?" I'm like, "Yes." And I just pick one. Magic touch. I don't know. I can't tell you. I can't tell you how I do it. It's the same thing. I am not one of these cats, because I see people at my like local store, like when I go play Magic and stuff. I see people. Oh, and Cloud, Embla. Cloud was in that pack too. Cloud, the Midgar Mercenary, was in the VV pack. I see people who go to my local store who, like, every time they're in, buy one, sometimes two collector boosters, which are like, you know, range between older ones being like 50, some of them are around 30, but like, I look at them and I'm like, dog, you're buying more collector boosters? And I do it sometimes for myself as a treat, right? Like the last ones I really bought were the Innistrad boosters, the Innistrad Remastered boosters that had my serialized Edgar Markov that I sold for $1,600, which paid for a decent amount of my, A, paying off debt, and B, the LA trip that I just took. Like I do not, I cannot recommend it, because like, oh yeah, collector boxes are around $1,200. Like, no. If you want, here's the thing. You absolutely should not invest in Magic as an investment strategy, because guess what? It is a massive bubble right now. Like let me turn you on to game about this. I am selling those cards. I'm posting those on eBay tomorrow. They will probably sell the day after, because people want them so bad right now. But I am not. Yo, people trading Power 9 for boxes? Hell. Graded Power 9? That's buck wild to me. Yeah, no shot. What? Oh, dog, Jesus Christ. Lady, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're being very silly. Yeah, you are. You're being so silly. Hello? Hey, no. That's... Yeah, like it's not... It's not a good investment strategy, because like I said, we're in a bubble right now. Like Sephiroth is $700 today. That's always going to be a rare and desirable card, right? Which is why I might get it graded. But I'm going to get it graded to sell for a little bit more. But yeah, that's like Power 7 is rough. Which Sephiroth? Fabled Soldier? Borderless? The one I pulled today. Oh, Outlaw Witch, are you just getting here? Yeah, I got Fabled Soldier, Borderless, and the shock foil. Lady, stop it. Not around the expensive cardboard. Sit. Sit. Lady's like, no, you can't trade the cards if I eat them. Ha ha. Little shithead. I love you. Yeah. So that is going like, and I am not turning them into like more money and funding an extravagant lifestyle. I am turning those into that shit's paying off my debt. Like that is me spending $50 to pay down a couple hundred. Because guess what? I saw the longer I stick with Magic, the more I see how the trends work. And like I see something happening with Edge of Eternities that is going to be just basically, I don't think it'd be as bad, but that set is going to be very much, I think, like Aether Drift in terms of desirability, which means that like this set right now, people are going ham over. Yeah. Anyway, lady's trying to help my card gambling addiction. No, I am. I'm actually offloading a lot of cards lately. One of the things I did today was reorganize a decent part of my collection because I am trying to, I don't know if I'm going to do it on like Facebook Marketplace, but I am going to start, I have like a box or two of cards that I just want out of here. Because I need space, I need money, I need less shit. One of the things I was hanging out with Mia down in LA, and one of the things I was so impressed about with Mia is that her, like, the place, her house is so tidy and succinct. Like there's not just shit all over. And I've gotten so, I'm not super cluttered and I don't have a lot of stuff, but I have too much stuff in like storage. I have too much stuff I don't need. And I am tired of having that stuff I don't need. And I am trying to shave it all off. And instead of investing in stuff I don't need anymore, I'm trying to like make my new hyperfixation creating things. Which mostly just means finishing my script and finishing my novel and finishing my screenplay right now. That is my secondary hobby I am dedicating myself to. But on that note, if anybody in the Discord or anything, if y'all want to get into Magic, if y'all want commander decks, I have a bunch of commander decks I'm selling. So hit me up. I've put together some really stupid, really funny decks.
And that is, there are reports of widespread GPS, cell phone, and radio jamming in Iran, which is believed to be U.S. electronic warfare. In all of this, is there are around 40,000 U.S. soldiers in the Gulf who may now be the immediate targets of Iran, and Iran does have an operative network in the United States that could inflict terror at home. Additionally, Iran has discussed closing the Strait of Hormuz in retaliation, which would make gas prices potentially rise up to $10 a gallon, as ships will now face the risk of exploding via mines. And all of this after earlier today you had 6 B-2 bombers very publicly beginning flying towards Iran through the Pacific. But there you have some saying that they might have been a diversion and that the B-2s actually came via the Atlantic. Hey, and then all of this is you have some experts saying that the bombing of Iran's nuclear facilities may not actually solve.
God, video making can pay well. I also, here's the thing. I also want to say I don't make actually that much. Like, it is another reason that you should not follow my example is that, like, it is actually irresponsible. I am at a point where, like, I'll be fine, but it is not responsible of me to like be buying extravagant shit like a fucking collector card booster. But it is a bubble and I'm trying to take advantage of it, and that's capitalism. And I hate living in capitalism. I wish I didn't have to, but If capitalism can help me deal with capitalism, we're gonna play that game. But yeah, outside of that, I do not I make okay money this month. If the LA video doesn't do well, this is gonna be a rough month because I've taken so long off of putting out actual videos now. Because I've been doing it. Yeah, anyway. Anywho.
The problem and make it.
I really want to own the Fallout cards. The Fallout cards, a lot of them are pretty cheap now. Like a lot of them. Don't just buy singles. Don't buy the commander decks because people will scalp you on those. But like there's a lot of really good singles if you want to put together a Fallout deck.
Far more likely that Iran will eventually make a bomb and potentially use it on the U.S. But for now, everything's still developing, so follow to stay in the.
Yeah. Isn't there a ceasefire right now? Aha! Ali Espinoza. Great timing. As of today, Iran's foreign minister says no final decision on ceasefire. Would you believe that? Oh, Silver Cell. Yes, on the Maya Poet thing. Send me an email, Silver Cell, if you wouldn't mind sending me an email. I forgot that was you. That became part of a much bigger thing that I am still working on. It is just very slow going, but I would like to keep talking about that. Yeah, we're still on Iran. We took a detour to talk about Magic the Gathering, as I am wont to do. As Iran has repeatedly made clear, Israel launched war on Iran, not the other way around. As of now, there is no agreement on any ceasefire or cessation of military operations. Quote, however, provided that the Israeli regime stops its illegal aggression against the Iranian people no later than 4 a.m. Tehran time, we have no intention to continue our response. So basically, don't start none, won't be none. Military operations of our powerful armed forces to punish Israel for its aggression continued until the very last minute at 4 a.m. Together with all Iranians, I think our brave armed forces remain ready to defend our dear country and to respond to any attack by the enemy until the very last minute. President Trump said earlier Monday that Israel and Iran had fully agreed on a complete and total ceasefire. I like how they included his dumbass capital ceasefire. Adding it was going to start in approximately 6 hours from now when Israel and Iran have wound down and completed their in-progress final missions. Let me see. Is Israel still... Because last I heard, I don't know what time it is over in Tehran, but I know... Oh, look, 9 minutes ago, Israel pounced Tehran amid growing calls for de-escalation. Iran confirmed ceasefire with Israel. There was no immediate confirmation from Israel. 9 minutes ago, direct hit in southern Israel can be seen in footage being shown now. Badly damaged apartment complex surrounded by cars and rubble. Israel's fire and rescue service says 2 people were returned dead at the scene of a direct hit in southern Israel. 36 minutes ago, Israel's emergency service, 5 people were lightly injured. Direct hit on a building after Iranian missile fire early Tuesday. Like, again, say what you want about Iran's, like, the regime, the way people have to live there under a totalitarian state. They play so much better by the rules of engagement than Americans or Israelis do. Like, they're out here giving warnings before attacking bases. Like, Iran's strike on an American base in Qatar on Monday appeared to be a carefully calibrated retaliation to U.S. Attacks on a nuclear site last week. The strike was limited in scope and echoed Iran's response in 2020 to the U.S. assassination. Like, they're just sitting over here like, well, you know, I mean, we got to do what we got to do. I hope you understand. Just letting you know, hey, like they come, they're like knocking gently on the door and shit. They're just like, hey, hi, me. Remember Iran? You bombed the shit out on my nuclear sites. Hey, I don't want to bother you too much, but just so you know, just want to give you a heads up. We are going to be bombing your bases in the area. I'm sure you completely understand, but I just want, you know, let y'all know, just as a little courtesy. So like, you shot our shit, so we're gonna shoot some of your shit, but we don't want there to be it to be too bad. But you get how it is. These things happen, and like, they do not need to be as courteous as they is what I'm saying. They don't need to be as courteous as they are, and this is another thing that just does not get taken into account in our foreign policy. Man. Israeli military said it identified more missiles being fired towards Israel after telling the public it could leave protected spaces minutes earlier. It called on the public to return to those spaces. Man. Trump's ceasefire announcement caught his own top officials by surprise. That's what you love to hear. That's what you love to see. Yeah, Galehound. This response is doing great to show the rest of the world that the U.S. and Israel are not to be trusted. Like, that's the thing, is that Israel, through its lack of any actual rules of engagement, through just constant fucking war crimes, even flaunting any kind of good taste in wartime engagement, killing civilians. Just the amount of heinous, depraved shit the IDF have done in the Gaza campaign, the entire world has seen, right? The entire world has come to hate Israel because of that shit. And now our steadfast commitment to Netanyahu, where it's looking certainly look, I'm not one to get conspiratorial, but Netanyahu has to have something on Trump, because Trump was giving all the signs of being ready to just fucking roll over and turn on his ass. And then suddenly we're back in bed with Israel. So, yeah. It's hard to say that, like, oh yeah, Trump's really making us look bad on the world stage, as if that's not the only thing he's fucking done as a president. But it does, like, betray a I don't know, man. It's just money. Hey, fuck, it could be. It could be. It could be. Hey, you could be right. Like, fucking Trump Gaza, that thing that he retweeted, that absolutely insane AI video of his, like, beachfront housing development. Hey, like, that is more than enough. Like, here's the thing. Again, Trump is so, he's not driven by, like, any, the term genocide doesn't really apply to him, because I truly don't think he has it in his brain to be driven by that kind of racism. Not saying he's not racist, he absolutely is. But I'm saying that, like, he would rather pretend like brown people didn't exist if it didn't gain him something to target them, right? Like, the way that he targets and cracks down on immigration, when you actually look into what I've been doing research on into, like, Stephen Miller and stuff, so many of the ICE raids, all the orders from the top and the rhetoric about ICE, it comes from him And he's a fucking, like, legitimate white supremacist piece of shit. Like, believes in racial superiority type shit. Not Trump. Trump is just a mouthpiece for that stuff. So, like, when you say, like, oh, Netanyahu and Trump are both genocidal, it's like, no, Netanyahu legitimately believes that Arab people are, like, subhuman. Like, Netanyahu is a bloodthirsty sociopath. Trump is a sociopath, but only for money. Like, he would not be driven by, like, he doesn't give a shit about, you know, end time prophecies. He doesn't give a fuck about religion. He doesn't care about any of that stuff. He does not care. Like, he is not one of these fucking Republicans who's out here like, we have a duty to support Israel because that's what Jesus would want. Jesus would want us over there with our AR-15s, and because we need to defend Israel, but not those kind of Jews. We like the good kind of Jews. Like, Trump has never been those people. He's never been with them. The things that will really tickle his cannoli, as it were, the thing that will really tickle his turtle, is the idea of real estate development. Like, see how he fucking just rolled over for the Saudis? Real estate investment deals, getting a big old expensive jet, which by their standards was apparently a piece of shit that they just didn't want anymore. It all comes down to money. He has been driven by it for so long that I truly think it's the only thing, the only carrot on a stick he has left to live for. Like, I think that if he did not wake up every morning striving for how he could just make more money and get more shit and put his name on more stuff, I think his heart would have failed by now. I think the Diet Coke, he just has a force field of pure id that is keeping the McDonald's and the Diet Coke from clogging his arteries just enough until he can get like a Trump hotel in Dubai or whatever the fuck he wants. Hello, thank you for the raid. Thank you, Raiders. Thank you for 37 Raiders. Goodness gracious, thank you so much. The 27 Club. Glad to have you here. I'm gonna go get more water real quick, and I will be right back, and we will continue very shortly. Hello. Hey, awesome Stella. I'm doing good. Squirrels on film. Hello. Not the trans Confederate flag. Howdy ho! Princess Chi-Chi in a bikini, thank you for following. Let's go. Wait, hang on. Hola. So I have multiple stories that I want to. Let me pull one up real quick. Oh, do I need to? There we go. $5 a.m. in Scotland? Oh. So I want to talk about Pedocon theory really quick, but we gotta pull up the receipts real quick. Well, this is the last topic because we talked about Iran. And I think that for Pride, it is fitting that I think it's fitting because we hear a lot specifically. Oh, what? Okay. We hear a lot specifically from people like Chaya Reichik, Matt Walsh, the idea that queer people, LGBTQ people, are all groomers. And it is well understood by specifically people on the left, progressive spaces, that a lot of that is projection. For example, anytime there are stories like these, or as we're going to find out right here, DOJ indicts Republican lawmaker over CSAM videos. If you go and like find this story on Twitter or something, you will see a bunch of people who have sent it to Libs of TikTok, who have tagged her being like, hey, did you get this one? Because, oh, she loves to talk about, but never if it's a Republican or a conservative, which there are a ton of. So I wanted to talk about why. And it's actually a very simple answer. It's because a lot of the time, these kind of moralistic grandstanding positions give the people who are actually committing these crimes free license to do it. Free from what they see as suspicion. It is not dissimilar to the way that statistically, most people who are violated when they're younger, most kids who are assaulted or taken advantage of. Hey, lady, can you not? Can you stop, please? Most people who are taken advantage of are done so not by a stranger, not by drag queens, but by somebody they know personally. It's why there is such a high rate among clergy, among not direct family members and shit like that. People are most dangerous where there is trust, where they feel that they can be trusted. Because especially, as we're going to find like this, they will take advantage of that. But I want to go back to, because it is not just, sorry, give me 1 second. Sorry. But before we get into that, I want to lay the groundwork a little bit, because the way Republicans, conservatives, prey on the young is uniquely multifaceted. It is something you don't see a lot in progressive spaces. The way that from the very cradle, conservatives will almost indoctrinate themselves into the ideas of what a kid should or shouldn't be. And most importantly, to this story, how they should play into their archetypical roles, usually aligning with either being born a girl or born a boy. Because having all of these rules, having these things that conservatives love to stick to, they know the people who are more likely to be offenders know that all of these rules provide the perfect breeding ground for the horrible shit that they like to do. If for example, if you homeschool your kids, if they don't have any of those liberal professors or liberal teachers to talk to, who's going to tell if the kids are being abused? Did I say greeting ground? Breeding ground. Y'all know what I meant. Have a good one, 401. Grooming ground. I did say greeting ground. Yeah, no, that's the other one. As with so many things in modern conservatism, Matt Walsh, unfortunately, a really good signpost. Remember the time that he said, I violate my kids' consent all the time? That was about not letting kids have bodily autonomy to turn down intimacy from family members. So like making your kids hug people and touch people that they don't want to or they might not be comfortable with. Because, oh, that's just what we do, and that's just the polite thing to do. It's like, guess what? That's not okay. But those attitudes are meant to cement these ideas. Things that kids not having their own autonomy, kids not knowing what they actually want or what they're thinking in their head. All right. Let's talk. Why are some Republican lawmakers hell-bent on preserving child marriage? GOP lawmakers across the U.S. have opposed raising the marriage age, with some arguing child marriage bans would encourage abortion. Here's another thing that just so happens to tie into, I'm glad they brought that up, just so happens to tie into the way conservatives like to frame their abuse of the young as a moralistic argument. When you'll notice a lot of them are not in favor of children who have been sexually assaulted getting abortions from their abusers, even if it's a case of incest. Matt Walsh, by the way, is one of those people. Again, makes you think. It kind of seems like so many of the things they like are just to prey upon those who are weakest. And that extends all the way up to the youngest and most vulnerable, including people around them. This was, by the way, last year. Holly Thompson Rader was a sophomore when she dropped out of high school and married her 21-year-old boyfriend. So she would have been, what, 14? Today, she's a GOP state senator and sponsor of a bill that would ban child marriage in Missouri, a bill she has been surprised to see blocked by her Republican colleagues who argue there is nothing wrong with the practice. It is so funny to me. Not in a funny haha way. Funny in a cruel irony kind of way. When people like this, women who work against women, who work against or work essentially in favor of patriarchal structures, have this awakening that they can't really escape from or do anything about. I imagine this is something Nancy Mace has faced several times as she argues with Matt Walsh when he's like, yeah, actually, we shouldn't have a woman talking about being competent and being in the military because this is bad and this is just feminist, blah, 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 like whatever. Is that like you have spent your entire life surrounding yourself with these cruel victimizers in the Republican Party, and you thought that they would side with you over the nebulous ability to victimize others. Yeah, Lauren Southern learned this brutally. Yeah, it's like you thought that you were exempt. But in the end, you are just another threat to their power, their ability to coerce and manipulate others. They aren't going to accept you outside of the usefulness you pose to their agenda, which is to essentially be like, look, we're not sexist. How can we be sexist? We have a woman who makes laws with us, laws that we turn down, laws that we don't agree with because we actually want to keep victimizing people, just like she was. We want to keep grooming people when they're too young to know the difference. But how can we be sexist? We only write laws about what a woman is, what a woman should be, when she should be able to control her body, how much she should be able to control her body. It's not if you get raped or if you have an incest baby. Like, no, we control all of that. We're not sexist. We have a woman. That is the utility that people like this provide to the Republican Party. And it is so, yeah, if she's allowed to die, when she's allowed to die, oh my God, the horrible, the just gut-churning story about the woman who's been dead and these craven conservative ghouls turning her body into an incubator for a child that had to be cut out of her too early because her body was beginning to deteriorate and they were trying to keep it alive. And like, that story is so, it's the shit. I talked about it in the Matt Walsh piece where, and I wrote that 2 years ago now, where it's like, we know the cruelty that can and will be inflicted because of anti-abortion laws. We know. It's no longer a matter of hypotheticals. It is no longer a matter of, what happens if we do this? What happens if a woman is pronounced brain dead? And because for so long, these things have been mental exercises, right? And they get kicked down the road over and over again whenever they're brought up to talk about, like, no, women should have the right to choose what happens to their bodies. And we know what happens, and it is so harrowing. It is so wrenching to witness it for yourself. And it comes with this additional sinking feeling that you can't even say, I told you so, because you always knew it was going to happen. It isn't like, well, you know what? You should have changed the flat tire. Like, it's no, like these were the things that conservatives knew would happen. These are the things that men are okay with because it means that they get to dictate the letter of the law regarding women, regarding children, regarding what they find acceptable, and it doesn't matter who's going to suffer. There are commonalities behind how people who are making these laws approach society. Like you can take so many of the things that apply to, hey, why are so many conservatives pedophiles? Why are so many conservatives just horrible people who want child marriage to be a thing? Why do so many conservatives prey on the young and vulnerable? And you can take those frameworks and apply it to so many other things. The treatment of women, the treatment of minorities, the treatment of immigrants. It comes down to wanting to wield power any way you can over somebody else. One type of predator is every type of predator. If somebody enjoys violating somebody in one way, which, make no mistake, some of these sick fucks enjoy it. That is why they do it. They will enjoy all ways. They can violate somebody. They can manipulate somebody. They can twist the world to their own ends. Oh my goodness, Zach Chap, thank you for rating with a party of 26. So this is from Holly Thompson Raider. Quote, I know firsthand, I was married at 15. My sister was married at 16. My cousin was married at 16. I understand how a teenage girl being married off is harmful to her life, and sometimes that's hard for others who haven't seen that up close and personal to understand. This is also, again, all this shit ties into itself. What's another thing that we've seen a lot of conservatives come around to in the last couple of years? No-fault divorce, doing away with it. You look at stuff like this, and again, it starts to make sense. Like, why would they be so against no-fault divorce? It's because they want to be able to marry their perfect child bride, and she can't do anything about it. Like, this perfectly lines up. Yeah, people in chat talking about Steven Crowder, people in chat talking about Nick Fuentes. Absolutely. They want a house slave. Marriage is currently legal. This was last year, but it's still true. Marriage is currently illegal in Missouri at 16 with at least one parent's consent. Missouri lawmakers only banned marrying children who were 14 years or younger in 2018. 50 lawmakers, 38 Republicans and 2 Democrats, I can't say what should happen to them, voted against the bill. Before the 2018 legislation passed, Missouri had one of the laxest child marriage restrictions in the country, which some argued made the state a refuge for sex trafficking. Another thing, it's talking about sex trafficking. Sex trafficking is another thing. Sex trafficking is a hot topic for the modern conservative post-COVID conspiracy sphere. You saw it with things like Sound of Freedom. You saw it with things like Tim Ballard. Oh, geez, what happened with Tim Ballard? I forget. I haven't heard about Tim Ballard in a minute. Oh, word. MAGA influencer Tim Ballard faces human trafficking lawsuit. Interesting. Wow. Ran trafficking operation. When people say, now I want to be very clear about this. When people say every accusation is a confession, that is not always true. The problem with predators, and you can see this, you have seen this in leftist spaces, is that anybody can be a manipulator, anybody can be a predator, anyone can lie and coerce and do horrible things to other people. And the reality is that while I truly do believe that conservatism, because it is so blatant about the force with which it represents itself, about the goals of controlling others, I really do think, I think that when you look at the state of like incels, and why are there so many incels with like Nick Fuentes? And it's like, it's because it's a lot of people who think that they can't get a girlfriend, but if they had their perfect little Nazi regime, they'd be able to get a bang maid given to them by the government. Like that's why. That's in a vacuum. Examples like that you look at and you're like, yes, that at their core, these are people who very likely feel they have no power in their lives and want to exert some control over others. But that doesn't mean that it is exclusive, that victimizers, that sadists are exclusive to conservatism, because that isn't true at all. And just like we'll see in a moment with this state lawmaker, you cannot just throw stones. Like you need to be aware and vigilant, because this is the attitudes about, oh, well, no, these bad things, they don't happen here, they happen over there, is why for untold generations, churches and church bodies have had endemic problems with sexual abuse. Is because for so long, churches were able to be like, well, no, these things don't happen here. Like, we're good God-fearing people. And parents would just go, yeah, you're right, it was probably nothing. I just won't worry about it. No, my kid was just mixed up. Like, the pastor wouldn't do that. We've been to barbecues, and the kid's life is ruined by lifelong trauma. The only answer, the only proper preparation to keep people safe is vigilance. And you cannot be discriminating about when and where you are vigilant. You have to always keep your guard up. And this, by the way, this isn't to say also, to put a hat on a hat, so to speak, this isn't to say that you shouldn't trust anybody. But there are people I trust. I trust tons of people. But trust needs to be tempered. And trust can be tested. And it's important to know about yourself. If you can trust yourself to have trust broken. Because one thing I've seen so many times already in the kind of influencer space is somebody does something horrible and people are hesitant to cut ties. People will be like, well, I haven't heard all the things. And it's like, oh, well, it turned out to be true. And then like later they're like, oh yeah, no, I wasn't actually that tight. It's like, nah. Like I was thinking about this today. There's not a single person, like, and I have good friends in this space. There is not a single person I know that if credible allegations came out against them, I wouldn't cut ties in a fucking second. Like, it is worth, the safety of a victim is worth so much more to me than somebody I've known for years, if they are an abuser. Sorry, give me 1 second. I'm catching up on messages real quick. Yeah, okay. The bill, which passed the GOP-controlled Senate, 31-1 earlier this year, is stalled in-house. The Government Efficiency and Downsizing Committee is specifically where half of the committee's 14 members have opposed it. Among the bill's opponents is Representative Hardy Billington, who told the Kansas City Star he believes that ending child marriage in Missouri would encourage abortion. Quote, my opinion is that if someone wants to get married at 17 and they're going to have a baby, and they cannot get married, then chances of abortion are extremely high. Missouri bans abortion at any stage except when the life of the pregnant person is at stake. This argument that child marriage must be preserved to prevent abortion seems to be gaining currency with Republicans across the country as they consider laws to raise the marriage age. Wow, weird. Funny that. 12 of them have banned... God, only 12 states have banned child marriage. A 2021 study by the advocacy group Unchained at Last found that 300,000 minors were married between 2000 and 2018. According to that group, 60,000 involved an age difference that would have otherwise been considered a sex crime. So another thing that they like to, you can see the way that they phrase it here, where it's like, oh, a kid gets married at 17. And they want, when you say, oh, somebody gets married at 17, the rational human mind conjures to mind like, oh, they might get married. Maybe they get married to an 18-year-old. Romeo and Juliet law type shit. Like, oh, they went to high school together. They've known each other for years. Like, they have a close bond. Whatever. Don't care. But what we're talking about here is not like 17 to 18. It's not 16 to 18, which I think is like, you're pushing it. It's not 17 to 20, which, like, again, gross. What we're talking about here is like 15 and 40. The vast majority of these minors were 16 or 17. Most girls were wed to adult men who were 4 years older on average. There were 5 documented... Oh, my God. There were 5... I can't even fucking say it. There were 5 documented instances of children as young as 10 married in the U.S. On the New Hampshire House floor last week, State Representative Jess Edwards argued against raising the marriage age from 16 to 18 by asking whether a law preventing people of, quote, ripe, fertile age from getting married would thus make abortion a much more desirable alternative than being pregnant out of wedlock. Last year in West Virginia, a bill that would have raised the minimum age to obtain a marriage license passed the House of Delegates with overwhelming support and was defeated in the Senate Judiciary Committee. Among the bill's opponents was Republican State Senator Mike Stewart, who shared that his mother married at age 16 and gave birth to him 6 months later. Quote, I'm the luckiest guy in the world, he said. The proposal, which raised the marriage age to 16 with parental consent, was ultimately resurrected and signed into law. In Wyoming, when state lawmakers were considering a bill to raise the marriage age to 16, the Republican Party sent out an email citing talking points from the religious group Capital Watch for Wyoming Families that asserted, quote, since young men and women may be physically capable of begetting and bearing children prior to the age of 16, marriage must remain open to them for the sake of those children. From the Colorado Sun, thank you, really, before I get into that, thank you, Simric, for $5. Remember, they will also argue that black people have babies of wedlock to collect benefits as well. It's not about life or rights, it's about control, yeah. Colorado Sun, Republicans block legislature from asking Colorado voters to let victims of child sex abuse from decades past sue their abusers. Another thing you may have noticed, another commonality here, even though it doesn't necessarily apply only to offenders' children, is how many conservatives, how many people in those spaces immediately were against Me Too? Do you think that's like on principle, do you think that's an accident? How many people were, well, what if a woman can just ruin a man's life? Well, that's not very fair. Like, all of these things, they say out in the open. We know. Like, we might not always know who the predators in our midst are. Like, the wolves wear sheep's clothing, right? There have been high-profile people in the left space who have preyed upon others, who have been rightfully ostracized. I will say that far more than any conservative I've seen. If there is somebody in a left-leaning space and it comes out that they're abusive, I can't think of a person that even if they are not, going against people's consent, even if they are not out here actually sexually assaulting people, there's so many people, not so many, but I've seen a fair few people, shit comes out about them, they disappear off the radar. $5 per month. Keep in mind, most places you can't file for divorce until you're 18. Yeah. Republicans blocked legislature from asking Colorado voters to let victims of child sex abuse from decades past sue their abusers. Yeah, you know what? Outlaw Witch, that's right. Yeah, Cuomo, the way people are hyping up Cuomo, it's like, did y'all fucking forget? Hello? Yeah, the Channel 4 dude, oh God, who was there was another, was it We're in Hell? I think We're in Hell was another one that shit came out. Virgil, Texas. Try fucking finding Virgil, Texas. Seriously, Destiny getting sex pest allegation. Yeah. Like, okay, well, here's the thing. We're in Hell, Sophie from Mars. Yeah. The thing about Destiny is that Destiny doesn't really care. Destiny has no shame. Destiny is permanently content brain, so he's not going to let that shit get in the way of him chumming up with IDF genocide soldiers. Yeah, Virgil, like, literally disappeared. I do not know what happened. Vosh, like, well, Vosh is actually kind of a good thing. Vosh has kind of kept his fucking head down. Like, Vosh used to be like a major player. Like, I would see his takes all the fucking time. That porn thing happened. And, like, look. Who all right, honestly, chat, come here, real quick. Whomst among us, right? Let they, in this case, let they who have not shown porn accidentally on stream cast the first stone. That having been said, it was the specific kind of porn for Vosh that everybody was like, oh no, bad touch. Like if my porn files, which I don't like keep them because I'm not a boomer, I don't keep porn on like files on a hard drive. But if people like accidentally saw the stuff I look at, nobody would be surprised and nobody would get mad about it. Like, I've accidentally retweeted porn on Maine on Twitter, and everybody was just like, a person of taste, I see. Like, you can be normal about it. Vosh is not. That shit, nah. Yeah, and Vosh also had a bad habit of doubling down. This trick, you have to home make all your porn. Yeah. See? That's actually not a bad idea. I can imagine DD just like femboys, girls, and stuff like that. Yeah. I mean, like, I have a wide variety, but it's nothing like what Vosh likes. Ugh. Wait, yo. Dropping porn on me is a canon event for like half the internet. Yeah. No, Nick DeGriff, it was not just furry horses. So, because I needed to know, to give my proper, authentic opinion, I looked up, not like a gallery of what Vosh looked up, but I watched the original VOD and like a zoomed in version of it. It was AI generated lolly horse porn, is what it was. Like, it is. I hate that I have it in my brain. I loathe it. But it was so. Like talking about it's making me uncomfortable. It's so. There was no mistaking what it was. That it was meant to be children. An AI. With a horse cock. Attached to a horse. Sick shit. Sick shit. Because, like, here's the thing, is that when you throw around allegations and you throw around, like, oh, what this person's into or what this person likes, I think there's that one Ethan Klein clip that people tried to get him on where he doesn't watch anime or something, but people were showing him, like, anime characters, and Korra from The Legend of Korra comes up, and he's like, oh, she's hot, and somebody's like, oh, she's 16, and he's like, what? How the fuck am I supposed to know that? I don't watch it. That looks like a woman to me. And so, like, those kind of disambiguations happen. There are times where it's like, okay, was it actually lolly or was it just an anime girl? Because those are two different things. Was it intentionally an anime child or just an anime girl? No, they were anime children. They were anime children. I don't care. The thing he fucking said to try and, like, oh, you know, like, I like short girls, like short sacks and stuff. It's like, fuck you. Ugh. He wouldn't stop talking about his horse porn addiction. Anything similar happen to Hasan? No. Hasan might as well be asexual for all I know. Yeah. Yeah, no, because his turn wasn't goblin. He was like, in trying to make excuses, he was trying to talk about, like, oh no, I like goblin girls and stuff, which is like all like, what a weird fucking. All he did was talk in his Discord server was about horsecock, short stack goblin girls. Yeah, it like. That's. Ugh. Okay, well, Yenzo, I'm not watching that. That's too much for me. I can't. Nope. I gotta finish this deep dive into hell for y'all. Christ. So the point is that don't trust anybody. Ugh. Homelander, IDK about Vosh or Destiny if that really happened. Lolly is technically legal. Like, it is technically legal. Because it is art. Like, it should be illegal. But if it is not a real person, child abuse material, Elron Hubward, we should make it illegal here. Images, cartoon, or otherwise. Yeah, no. Oh, it's an adult. Trust me, bro. I hate that shit so much. I hate that shit so much. A lolly isn't art. It's a crime, and I doubt it's legal. You can go right now. If you go and look on any porn comic website with servers in America, it does not need to be. You do not need to be searching for lolly, by the way. You will be able to find it. It will be served, advertised to you. If you're just looking for regular old porn comics, you're just looking for regular old drawn porn, go look on Rule 34, right? Pick your favorite video game. Pick a mature character. You will eventually stumble upon it. It will be served to you. It's horrifying. The permutation of it, the normalization of it, awful. Rule for R34 does not have good moderation. R34 absolutely. Like yeah, Awesome Stella was once browsing, saw Owl House, which is a fucking kids show. Yeah. Anyway. Blocked the legislator from asking voters to amend the state constitution to let victims. I'm shook at that R34 is being given as an ethical source right now. I didn't say that. Senate concurrent resolution 1, which would have sent the question to the November ballot, needed a supermajority of support to pass the chamber. It failed by a single vote. Democrats hold a 23-12 advantage, one vote shy of a supermajority. Democrats were united in favor. No Republicans would join them, citing concerns about the constitutionality of the measure and how it could bankrupt institutions like schools and churches. Christ. The resolution was brought this year in response to a Colorado Supreme Court decision in June striking down a provision in a bipartisan 2021 law that gave victims of child sex assault dating back to the 1960s for whom the statute of limitations had run out a 3-year window to sue their abusers and the institution that allowed their abuse. The court ruled the law violated a provision in the Constitution prohibiting the General Assembly from reviving a claim for which the statute of limitations has run out. Christ. The statute of limitations used to give child sex abuse survivors in Colorado 6 years after they turned 18 to file legal action. Most child sex abuse survivors wait decades before revealing their abuse. So there are a number of reasons why abuse survivors might wait a long time. Especially, again, we know We know from experience, from statistics, from decades of data gathering, again, the people most likely to harm children like this are close to them. Close enough to be trusted. They are neighbors. They are family members. Overwhelmingly, a lot of the time. So, yeah, like Silver Cell, 6 years after 18 doesn't even get you off their insurance. Like especially if it's a family member, you might still be in close proximity. You might be financially dependent on them. Depending on the severity of the trauma and the abuse, I don't want to say that actually because it's not, I don't have the facts on that at the case, but I know that some elements and some facets of abuse can present themselves after years. Like it might not even be I'm trying to remember what of that is pseudoscience though. I won't just talk out on that one. Colorado Sun in 2020 profiled a man who waited until he was 45 to reveal he had been abused by a priest who was a constant figure in their lives. Oh, sorry. Excuse me. Quote, when I look back, the reason I didn't say anything because I didn't want to hurt my family. Aimed at overcoming the constitutional hurdle. Proponents of the measure introduced it with the expectations the Republicans would vote for the resolution. Quickly became clear that wouldn't happen, and Senate concurrent resolution one languished for months as one of its main sponsors, a Wheat Ridge Democrat, tried to secure a Republican vote. Oh, excuse me, sorry. This is a legacy-defining moment, she said in an impassioned speech. Although you may like to determine how this vote will be perceived, you cannot. The public gets to decide how this vote will be perceived. Jesus. Okay. Fuck off. Get out of here. Yeah, military Humvee revisions. Frankly, sometimes it takes years to remember assault. If you were extremely young, too, getting to the next steps are less hard than remembering. Yeah. DOJ indicts Republican lawmaker over CSAM videos. Republican lawmaker, this was a couple days ago, last week. Republican lawmaker from South Carolina has been arrested and federally charged with 10 counts of distributing abuse material. R.J. May, a 3-term member of the South Carolina House of Reps and political consultant, was taken into custody at his home in Lexington County following a lengthy federal investigation. Now, this one... what's it called when the allegations expire? The name is on, that's the statute of limitations. Memory repression is real. Well, and I have no doubt, by the way, I want to say that I'm not saying memory repression or repressed memories are a pseudoscience. Like, I know those are a real thing. What I'm saying is there is pseudoscience regarding how it's been used in the past It's not coming to me. The McMartin preschool, and stuff like that. The McMartin preschool trial, where kids basically had fake memories given to them, to say definitely happened, to make the person who was accused of like murdering children and having them take part in satanic rituals and shit. But like, I want to be clear that I'm not saying that like that stuff doesn't happen. I am not qualified enough to talk on it. As we go through this, I want you to keep in mind everything we've talked about so far as it relates to this pedocon theory. Why conservatives in particular are so drawn to these tactics of assault, of manipulation, of coercion, why they might be drawn to these idea of power and what it gives them over young people, over women, over their bodies. Why so much of their agenda is based around these strict roles of who and what somebody should and can be. And how all of those tie into the kind of the goals they set for children, how children should be raised, how children should, quote unquote, should be brought up. And think back to things like Matt Walsh being like, I violate my kids' consent all the time, as you read this. And I think the picture starts to come together of how truly terrifying conservative ideology is as it applies to this stuff. And I think you start to get an idea of why so many conservatives end up like this. It is an ideology that appeals to predators and victimizers at the end of the day. According to the indictment, May allegedly used multiple online aliases, including Joe Biden69, to share illicit content through Kik. After his 2020 election, he co-founded the Freedom Caucus, a faction of ultra-conservative lawmakers, and refused to join the majority caucus, criticizing its loyalty requirements. Known for his outspoken floor speeches, frequent criticism of bipartisan bills, May had also built a reputation as a disruptive political consultant, backing challengers against sitting GOP incumbents. Yeah, right. May had become increasingly isolated, especially after federal prosecutors revealed last fall that electronic devices had been seized and that an indictment was forthcoming. God damn. Months of knowing this. Talk about a fucking sword of Damocles. Have a good night, Johnny Viral. Talk about, like, man, knowing you're just sitting in the guillotine, just nestling your head there for months. That's crazy. Let me look up. There's more to this story too. RJ May. Oh yeah, I don't like him either. Hey, maybe Wikipedia already has it. On June 12th, he was suspended after he was indicted, arrested, arraigned, and held without bail on 10 federal counts of possessing CSAM. Oh, weird. Interesting. May told the House in January 2024 regarding transgender issues in children, quote, "We as legislators have an obligation to ensure that our children have no harm done to them." Interesting. That sounds just like Lives of TikTok. Much to think about. August 2024, his house was searched in conjunction with an investigation into potential abuse material, more commonly referred to, DHS. Federal document was filed with a motion to extend. He pled not guilty. That's fucking crazy. The Joe Biden account was established and deleted 5 days later. Account sent... Jesus Christ. In 5 days, the account sent more than 1,100 messages, mostly explicit in nature. Investigators identified 220 different videos and images depicting CSAM saved to it. Like, here's... God, I hate this shit so much. Here's the thing to consider. Here's the really horrifying part. Is how long somebody has to be active to amass that kind of shit. To know where to go, know where to look. It's abundantly clear that things like this don't just happen in isolation. This was not just a one-off incident. And you have to wonder, not just how long does this one person go on like this, hiding all this from the world, abusing, hurting, and manipulating others, but how many other people out there are just like him? Oh, my God. Jesus Christ. To prove the phone belonged to May, prosecutors presented phone records that show May made calls to his wife or clients at his consulting firm, researched legislation, and in one case texted a friend, quote, "Happy Easter," at the same time the videos were being sent over Kik. His attorney argued somebody may have taken control of May's phone or gotten into his home internet during those days, alluded to unnamed, quote, political enemies. May's home Wi-Fi and phone were both password protected, meaning it would be difficult for another person to access them. Crazy. Oh, God. A laptop, a tablet, 4 cell phones, 4 hard drives, 4 SD cards, 2 DVDs, and 19 thumb drives. Among those were 2 cell phones found in May's master bedroom. One belonged to him and the other to his wife. The phone belonging to May's wife was not linked to the abuse material. While none of the devices investigators seed had material saved on them, that's not uncommon, considering the ability to save media to the cloud through various apps. May's phone showed several apps had been recently deleted, including Kik and other encrypted foreign-based apps for which U.S. investigators can't get search warrants. Data on the phone that saves commonly used phrases suggested the Joe Biden 69 username had been typed repeatedly. Oh my God. On May's personal laptop, investigators also found 9 separate videos of May paying to have sex with women who appeared to be young. The videos appear to have been recorded during international trips May took to Colombia in 2023 and 2024. Hodges also worried that many of the children in the videos appeared to be the same age as May's 2 children, both of whom are under 10. I hear about this shit and I feel cold, man. Like, I hate it so much that there are people who exist like this, that they can go and control our lives. Like there's nothing I can say about what deserves to happen to people like this that wouldn't get me banned straight up. Wouldn't get me 3 strikes on the dot. But yeah. If you ever wonder why so many conservatives are so fixated on these elements of control, you should also be wondering how many of them are out here living like this when they think people aren't looking. As they're going out on the floor and saying, oh no, trans people, queer people are the real predators, are the real perverts. I need somebody, all right, somebody give me something fucking funny to watch. I can't end a stream like this. I'm going to have a, like, nightmare if I go to bed now. Like, I feel, I don't like talking about this shit. I shouldn't have taken on this topic. I shouldn't have taken on this topic. Jordan Peterson versus 20 Kermits. Hey, Huckster Duck. I get so... I get it. I got in this same headspace when I was researching the Tim Ballard video, the Sound of Freedom video. And it's why I don't do I don't cover this shit a lot because it puts me in such a bad mental state. Like it makes me, no, I'm not going to watch that again. It makes me, it's the kind of shit that makes me violent in a way I don't like. I don't like thinking about what bad things should happen to people, but there's nothing else I can think that those people deserve. No, what the hell? No, thank you. Late Bloomer 66, thank you for following.
Hello, beautiful citizens. I'm pleased to announce Israel has bombed Iran.
What? Are they at war?
No, it was a precision strike of certain individuals.
But we aren't involved in it?
No.
Good.
Well, a little bit.
Oh.
They're using our bombs.
Oh.
Also, we knew about it beforehand.
Oh.
Also, we approved.
Oh, no.
But nobody's at war. We simply bombed Iran, and they bombed us back.
What?
I mean, Israel. I'm using we in the broader sense.
Holy shit. Oh my god, Makuta LaRocca. Actual Jake, thank you very much for raiding with a party of 160. I need to start streaming later, apparently. Seraphony, thank you for following. Nobody, thank you for following. We are just chillaxing right now after some incredibly heavy shit that we've been talking about. I don't know if y'all have heard, but the world is kind of fucked right now. But we've been doing our best to bond through it together. We talked about why so many conservatives love coercive power, how it ties into Pedocon theory. As a state representative was brought up on just truly, like I'm in a weird headspace right now because talking about child abuse stuff really fucks me up, but we're getting back into it. We're watching some funnies, trying to get the head cleared out, as it were. We're looking for adorable. If you have any good goat videos, any videos of like adorable baby goats, I will gladly watch those. I'm Eurus, thank you, Jay Ganja, and see that really quick. Ashley, thank you for 3 months. Good morning from IVAV. Seeing a massive weekly, monthly protest in the U.S. gives me hope for the future. I hope you will watch my documentary on the L.A. protests. For those who don't know, and I spent most of the beginning of the stream talking about it. I was down in Los Angeles for 5 days of the protests, and spent a lot of time getting flashbanged, getting tear gassed, and I've been working on a documentary to kind of put everything into perspective on that, because it's rough. It's rough shit. Go sub on the YouTube. Lviv, city in Ukraine. How am I supposed to know that? I'm glad, Ashley. I'm glad you're having a good morning in Ukraine.
Sense, as in we're going to keep bombing Iran.
We are.
Of course not, unless we decide we will, which we are.
We are.
We just bombed Iran's nuclear development sites.
We as in we, or we as in...
No. We, the United States, sent a B-2 bomber into a sovereign nation to drop bombs.
So we're at war.
No, we're at war with Iran's nuclear program.
This sounds like a regime change war.
No, nothing like Iraq. No regime change. Just normal bombs.
Okay.
So would a regime change be so bad? Food for thought.
Food for thought?
We bombed them in order to achieve peace. We're at peace now. Aren't you happy?
Not really.
What, are you some commie liberal? Do you hate America?
I voted Reagan, Clinton, Gore, Bush, Obama, Romney, Clinton, Trump, Harris.
What?
I'm the median voter.
You frighten me.
Are we at war?
We're at...
Oh, that's... Unfortunately, that's fucking dead on. That's... When you look at that... That's true. There's a prison being reopened in California. Emotional damage. Everglades? What? Most cursed voting history imaginable. Okay. The thing you got to understand is that that's actually true. Like Obama, Trump, Harris, I hate that this is a person. It's a lot of people. The idea of American exceptionalism, not exceptionalism, independence. The idea that you are like, oh no, you go with the thing that you don't let anybody tell you what to do. It leads to a lot of people like this who are so ill-informed, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They will go wherever the wind happens to be blowing them. And it's usually the economic wind, right? It's why you see trends of people voting along with, wartime presidents, because there's upticks in production. There's upticks in the economy during wartime. It's like shit like that. Median voter.
At peace. After bombing Iran, it's a perfect time to negotiate.
Because you definitely destroyed their nuclear program?
Maybe.
Maybe?
I don't know yet.
Aren't they going to bomb, like, U.S. bases now?
Okay, so many questions.
I'm just asking if they're going to bomb our bases.
Iran is bombing our bases.
So we're at war.
Define war.
Man, I just want healthcare.
Shoot, I'm a little strapped for cash right now. Can I give you a bomb?
Great. You know what? No notes. Great. No notes. Great ending. All right, now let's watch this.
Today I'm surrounded by 20 Kermit the Frogs.
Do you believe you are Jordan Peterson?
What do you mean by believe?
I don't know if you're copying my voice or what.
That's the circular definition.
That's the circular definition.
You stake your life
You stake your
on
life on it.
And you die
And you
for
die
it.
for it. I feel like I'm talking to myself here.
How much do you know about me?
Hypothetically, if you were born Jordan Peterson...
So the problem is, I don't think Kermit is AI, but the voice is AI. Like, it seems like they're just, like very, very clever, like clipping together, but they needed somebody to do an actual Kermit voice. They should have hired somebody to do an actual Kermit voice. That would have really pushed it over the top, because it's lacking the inflection of Kermit.
But you talked like Kermit the Frog. That would just make you a human with a frog voice.
You're generating an impossible, restricted, hypothetical, with no
I
precursors.
love the giant, the background.
I can't tell them apart.
The fuzzy, giant, menacing Kermits in the background. That's very funny. I do like them.
You like eating red meat,
I know.
right?
I know the Jordan Peterson isn't, but listen to the Kermit voice. The Kermit voice is AI. The clips, all the clips, all the video and stuff are, I can tell they've all been cut out.
Sure.
And what do Jordan Peterson...
Look at the massive Kermit size difference. This is somebody's kink, right? Kermit size difference. They sit in judgment. The giant Kermits, the council will judge you. It's like the Charred Council from Darksiders. Deep Xbox 360 cut for all of those out there. Just get you know what they need? Big Kermit. No, what they need is they need to have the Charred Council voices. And what do Jordan Petersons love?
Petersons love eating more than anything else.
Why are you asking me?
Because you are Jordan Peterson.
You say that. I haven't claimed that.
Is this Jordan Peterson versus Kermit the Frogs?
Don't be a smartass.
Either you're Jordan Peterson or you're not. Which is it?
You're really quite something.
That's because you're Jordan Peterson, you're not a frog.
Yeah, I'm done with him.
I respect Dr. Peterson, but I think he's losing it.
Croak, croak, ribbit, ribbit.
Croak, croak, ribbit, ribbit is very good. You're the only other person I've seen that still remembers Darksiders? Hell yeah. Darksiders 3 came out... Oh no. When did Darksiders 3 come out? That's going to be like... 2017, 2018? Woof. A roof. Nope, nope, nope. This is my... All right, now we're going to go to my happy place. This is my place of zen and peace. This is my Mojo Dojo Casa house. Welcome in. No. Go. No. I want to see I don't care about that shit. I want to see goats.
Here we go. We gonna show you how it goes. To the right, to the right, to the right, to the right, to the left, to the left, to the left, to the left. Now kick, now kick, now kick, now kick. Now walk it by yourself. Now whoa. Here we go. We gonna show you how.
I love them. I love them so much. Look at baby. Have you ever seen baby goats chasing things? World Eaters, Doze Autopsies. Are the World Eaters chaos? Because I'll go with chaos. I ain't fucking with the Necrons. I ain't fucking with the Adeptus Mechanicus.
Chase me, chase me, chase me, chase me, chase me. Come on, come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Let's go, let's go. Chase me, chase me, chase me, chase me, chase me.
Look at this baby! Look at this baby! Baby goats are so fucking funny, man. They are... Alright. I love ghosts. I love goats. Ghosts are okay too. I love goats because they are the most innocent. They are some of the most innocent, mischievous creatures in the world. They are... they aren't without guile, which is one thing I love about them. Because they are mischief incarnate. They are chaotic little imps. They are little creatures. But they are so sweet. They can be so loving. They are so playful and pure. Having them like run around, like you do, just watching baby goats fucking run and jump. They make me so happy. My Instagram algorithm is basically just baby goats. And you just pick them up and they go, ah! Ah! They're so silly. They're just ridiculous animals. Why would anybody make these?
Oh, I know. Come on.
Look at him!
Hey, baby.
Look at their little wiggle tails! Untangle your goats! Look at that perfect little. Sorry, my dog is like, you saying perfect little creature? You saying perfect little creature? Like, am I talking? You think I'm talking to you? You think I'm talking to you? Look at perfect baby. Perfect tiny baby. Look at how fluffy they are. Look at how fluffy they are. Oh my god. See, this does make me oh yeah, no, baby goats like skip and hop, and they like, especially the younger they are, the more uncoordinated they are, the less coordinated they are, and they just like throw their bodies as they're running, so they just like flop around and jump and just like go. They're so fucking funny. They also do, okay, let me show you goats. Again, these are creatures that are made for pranks. Like, they're not normal animals. Thrace Fulton, thank you for 1,000 bits. Find you someone who looks at you like Vesper looks at baby goats. That's all I'm saying. They will faint and go like rigid at loud noises because they get startled. Like, if they get jump scared too hard, they just go like, "Oop." Me too, to be honest. Fundamentally unserious animals. Yes, these are fundamentally unserious creatures. Come on, video. Here we go. Here we go. Foxes are this. I love foxes. Foxes are also very good mischievous babies. Oh, cool. I've been having a lot of issues with internet today. Don't know why. No, it's just been, I don't know, something has been, yeah, it's okay. I was just about to pack up the stream anyway. We've had a pretty good one, I think. I want to thank everybody for coming out and joining. Thanks to all of our raiders. Holy shit, thank you all so much for raiding. Necrosaurus is probably, I think, the place that, oh, wait, hang on. Stop it. I want my goats. God damn it. Okay, yeah. We're going to go raid Necosaurus. I have to get to bed because I gotta, I have to edit tomorrow, and I really want to start getting these, this video out. And I hope y'all have a wonderful rest of your night. And thank you all for joining. Be sure to like, subscribe, follow along to YouTube to see the documentary. It's going to be, is going to be big.